Today I'm going to share a story. It's rather a courageous story, but I feel that it needs to be shared because it's very much in alignment with what I have been bringing to you with music and colour, as I talked about the power of colour last week. Today I arrived in a small rural town. I had my harp in the car to go into the back door of a cafe. 2 doors down from that cafe was an ambulance, a group of people, and a paramedic, a group of paramedics obviously working on a person. And it was quite obvious that that person was on the brink of life and death. I pulled my harp out of the car, and I guess I thought, well, what should I do here? Knowing the power of music, knowing that music works on a soul level, I sort of thought, well, I have a harp here. And of course, the not so brave part of me thought, well, too bad, I'm not going to put myself out. But then another thought came in and said, well, there's a person on the brink here. And when these moments arise in front of you, it's quite scary because you do have to take courage and think, well, will I just ignore what's happening? Or will I go and see what I can offer? So I marched up to the scene, and there was nobody official. The woman had no family. She had got out of a taxi and simply collapsed. Little lady on her own. So I said to the paramedics, well, do you mind if I play the harp? Well, I understand that was a pretty crazy question, and I totally forgive the paramedic for not having the knowledge to know that that offer was given for a very good reason. His response was not appropriate. Now we all know, doesn't matter whether we're what we believe, whether we're Christians, Buddhists, atheists, most of us know that the soul can leave the body, the soul can float above the body, the soul can come back into the body. Here was an opportunity to just simply be in this situation. I wasn't going to play Amazing Grace or anything like that. What I desired to do was to simply be in the very present now with my harp, to realise that I had an instrument. Wasn't going to do the job of the paramedics, but could have helped on a different level. I could have given her a note. That note may have helped her move across, or it also could have helped her to come back into her body. We don't know. Every time we as therapeutic musicians, and I do call myself that, every time we play a note, we don't know what is going to happen. That is the miracle that happens as we just simply allow our hands to be guided and to let what notes need to be played. Once I was told no by the paramedic, not appropriate. So I took myself away from the scene, went into the cafe and played some music. About an hour and a half later, I walked out, and it was rather a tragic sight of seeing this body just on the last part of being removed. There was no family, nobody around. It was wrapped in a blanket and put in a van. I had to sit with my emotions. I went shopping. I went to the supermarket. I bought these flowers, purple and the orange. They just jumped out at me. I didn't think anything about it. Then I came home, and on the way home I saw some more flowers, purple and orange. Again, it was like they just jumped out in me. I guess the grief was sitting in my psyche of that day, of this poor lady who had just wanted to go shopping. The orange in the flowers represent the trauma of seeing somebody laying on the street on the brink of death. And the purple is the grief. And it was quite amazing that the way I dealt with today's experience was I bought 2 lots of flowers. Both times they were purple and orange. So I tell this story because there are so many things in life that we just simply take for granted. We take colour for granted. It's all around us, but it helps to bring us healing and balance. We take music for granted, and many times both these mediums are critiqued. And the reason why I'm telling this story is that so many times when I've been around with my harp and I have seen such a need for education, music is so powerful. And if it's played from a different place, music can be the medium for miracles of many different levels to happen.